We're going to talk about the CTE dude, the dude who drove all the way from Las Vegas to New York City to shoot up the NFL headquarters and then killed a cop that was off duty, that was doing security, killed himself, and I think like shot a bunch of other, killed 2 other people.
Police say a gunman walked right into the lobby of an office building and opened fire. 4 people are dead, including an NYPD officer.
You can see the suspect here carrying a military-style rifle. Police say he had a history of mental health issues. Lilia Luciano is outside the building in Midtown Manhattan, which is just a few blocks away from our studio. Lilia, good morning.
It was the CEO, not the NFL. A Blackstone executive was killed. It's not BlackRock, it's Blackstone. And he wasn't trying to kill the Blackstone people. He was trying to go into the NFL part of the building, it seems, because from what we know, that's what it's in the same building. So he went to the wrong floor. Blackstone is not BlackRock, and he wasn't trying to go to Blackstone anyway. It seems he was trying to go to the NFL building because he blamed the NFL for his CTE. No, it's not gambling related. No, he's just it's crazy.
And he said he saw 2 people get shot.
Others stayed inside and barricaded themselves in offices.
We believe this to be a lone shooter.
Police have identified the gunman as 27-year-old Shane Tamura. They say he had a documented history of mental health issues. He lived in Las Vegas and drove across country through Colorado Saturday night, then Nebraska and Iowa on Sunday, before reaching New Jersey Monday, about 2 hours before the shooting. Inside his black BMW, police found a revolver, multiple rounds of ammunition, and medication. The motive is still under investigation.
The reason why he shot himself in the chest is because he wants his brain to be studied for CTE. It seems like he had a litany of mental health issues. He played football. He was a prospect. He never played in the NFL. He was working in Vegas. I looked into his background. And I guess he blames the NFL for it regardless. He didn't actually play in the NFL. It seems like that's what he was trying to target that's what he was trying to target was the NFL. He ended up going to another floor and shooting up a bunch of people in the process and then killed himself. Yeah, he played high school. I think he played college too.
And just as we're standing here, we're seeing the NYPD right behind us. They just lowered the flags in front of the building to half staff. Officer Islam was one of 2 uniformed officers in the building when the shooting happened. The other victims who were killed include 2 females and 1 man.
Is it plausible that he shot himself in the chest with an assault rifle? Yes. And I suspect the reason why he did that is because he didn't want to shoot himself in the head, because if his main gripe is CTE, he left a note, and in the note he was talking about how like he wanted people to study his brain. It's common for people with CTE. Also, this happened. 2 in custody after active shooter situation in Midtown. Police are responding to an active shooter situation in Midtown. And they made it seem like it was some Muslim dude or some dude wearing like a Palestine jersey or something. The man grabbed falsely ID'd by someone claiming he was trying to bomb the building. Casual Islamophobia is a widely beloved activist. He brings watermelon to protest and carries it the whole march, then breaks it up and feeds people. They just instantly went in and were like, oh, let's blame them. Let's blame some random brown guy. A woman falsely identified a man wearing a Palestine shirt as the shooter in this video. He was detained but completely uninvolved in the incident. Imagine you survive like a massive shooting. Like you survive a shooting and then some random lady, some random racist is like, yo, he did it. And then now half of the media also really excited to point the finger of blame at like Muslims and the Free Palestine movement or whatever is now using your image to be like, yo, this guy did it. Yeah, those are finance interns, chat. A woman falsely identified a man wearing a Palestine shirt as the shooter in this video. He was detained but completely uninvolved in the incident. This is the actual shooter. Yeah, that's the situation.
Why does someone do that? That's a mental health question.
Drives all the way across the country to commit that heinous act.
That's exactly right.
And doesn't hide like Luigi Mangione did. He did it, just walked straight in.
Right in.
Richard Esposito, thank you so much for your insights.
Luigi Mangione. What is that argument? Like he's braver than Luigi Mangione or something? Like what are they trying to say? I'm confused. Like this guy shot a bunch of random people. Luigi Mangione very specifically targeted one person. Allegedly, Luigi Mangione targeted one specific person.
Also claiming to suffer from CTE and asking for his brain to be studied. Police, however, has stressed that at this point, any motive is still under investigation.
I mean, you already know, man. You already know what the solution to this is. It's not like people say, oh, better mental health, sure. But the people who say better mental health treatment don't want to actually fund it anyway. And not only that, but also it's like too many guns, too many guns, too many guns, too many guns, too many guns. What are we doing? Too many guns. That has not gone away. I mean, I was just talking with Cameron Kasky yesterday about this on stream while this was happening. Cameron Kasky is one of the Parkland kids, as you guys know. Like, he spent most of his adult life advocating for gun control and getting yelled at for that. And we jokingly said, oh no, that's solved now. The problem is solved now. There's no more gun violence. There's no more mass shootings, but there is. Why do you want to disarm the right, want to kill and imprison us? I actually want to know the logic. You went after me for calling you rich for getting free haircuts, but won't answer a limit question. Why disarm and fascists are running freely? Bro, you are the last type of dude who should have a gun, okay? Like, you are already mentally ill, clearly, that you're holding on for a grievance like this, okay? You are the last type of person that should have a gun, okay? I feel like you are the exact type of dude who's eventually gonna either use that on me or someone else that pissed you off 8 years ago. It's not a grievance, it got your attention. Oh my God, brother. Let me tell you something, okay? Let me explain something to you. If you want a functional government, if you want a functioning government that cares about the welfare of all citizens, yes, reasonable, modest gun control is a necessity. We have too many guns in this country. People act as though they need their guns to fight against a fascist government. And it's like, the fascist government is here, okay? It's already here. What are you talking about? And most of the people that have guns will use it like this guy did. That's it, bro. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's just horrible to see everybody walking around here, Brian, going to their workplace, wondering, if there's going to be more safety and security here in Midtown today after we know a gunman pulled right up here in Park Avenue, got out of his BMW after he drove all the way here from Nevada, we're told, had an AR under his arm and walked into that office building behind me. He fired tons of bullets. I want to show you that it also shattered the lobby glass there. 4 people are dead this morning, including a woman who worked at Blackstone. They're saying that she was a huge member of their community. Her family is obviously grieving. It's just a sad situation. And then we know the NYPD officer was also shot. He was standing in the lobby there, and you can see there's lots of security out in front today. This is what we know about that officer. His name is
Didarul Islam. He's from Bangladesh, and he is an immigrant. I think he has 3 kids. Wife is pregnant with a 4th on the way, and now he's dead. He was off duty, and he was doing protection there.
He was doing the job that we asked him to do. He put himself in harm's way. He made the ultimate sacrifice, shot in cold blood, wearing a uniform that stood for the promise that he made to this city.
Yeah, and he did everything he could to try to keep people safe in there, working off-duty security, thinking, it was probably a safer place.
Now how you react if it was a white cop? Brother, what are you talking about? There are plenty of instances where cops have actually worked to stop a mass shooting. Like, it doesn't matter what the race of the cop is. Are you stupid? This is, what do I always say? This is the one time where cops are supposed to be violent. Like, this is the instance. This is the appropriate instance. This is the whole purpose. Why are you guys so stupid that you immediately like racialize this? White cop, black cop, brown cop, doesn't matter. This is the point of police. I think a lot of people just ascribe whatever kind of value that they think I have here and assume that like my assessment is like, oh no cops at all, at no point. Like, I think you just don't care. Probably because there's a lot of anti-police shadows. I don't give a dude. What do you mean? There's a variety of there's Nazis in this chat. Does that mean my position is reflective of Nazis? No.
Listen to this, though, because we've been talking about why did this happen, right? Well, according to Mayor Eric Adams, who just did an interview a short time ago, you guys, this guy played football in high school and had a note in his pocket when his body was found claiming he suffered from CTE. Adams says that he blamed, according to the note, the suspect, all of his struggles on football. The note also mentioned the NFL could be a motive, and that is still a question this morning. So back out here live, we're going to try to figure all of that out. But to know, that he left a note behind, that's new information that the mayor of New York City was just talking about, knowing that this guy armed with that AR knew exactly what he was doing when he came here at 6:30 on a Monday and went up to that specific floor before he took his own life.
Clearly, he didn't know exactly what he was doing, considering that he didn't even go to the right floor.
Walks right in with this long weapon
And you can see in some of the pictures, if we zoomed out on this picture, which I saw on social media, you can just see people in the background, like walking into work. They didn't notice it. You know, New Yorkers were all to ourselves, and we're so busy, and people are on their phones, and everyone's just walking on the street that no one saw this. So we walked right in.
And what about the fact he wasn't worried?
The conspiracy guys are in here. He got the Blackstone CEO. I think the note is fabricated. Dude, okay. I don't think you guys understand. Companies like this have a ton of executives, okay? You have to think, what is the point? Like, what is the purpose? Why would he just not say he's trying to kill the Blackstone CEO if that's the case? Meanwhile, the fact that he shot himself in the chest to commit suicide instead of in the head to commit suicide, and a note that was left behind that pointed to CTE, considering that the building is also the NFL building, you have to look at every single piece of evidence that is readily available before immediately rushing to the conspiracy. Yes, the profile of the victims is important. The profile of the victims is important. That's a major part of the evidence. That's a major piece. That's key evidence, right? To try to make an assessment on what the motives are. But a higher degree, like a piece of evidence as a higher value, is the profile of the shooter, and also on top of that, like some of the actions that he took, and if there is a note that was left behind or not. Do you understand? And he somehow went to the 33rd floor rather than the 5th floor, just so happening to be the office of the building owner / real estate mogul in Blackstone. Yeah, I think the 33rd floor instead of the 5th floor where the NFL is because I suspect some of these buildings, you can go up to the building management office, which is where the 33rd floor is. It could also be that like someone actually pressed the 30, like those are pre-assigned. Like you have to be sent to a floor. If you've ever been in one of these buildings in New York City, I don't know the type of elevators they have there, but some of them have elevators that take you up to a specific floor unless you have the badge. Yes, the reporter said the destinations are predetermined when you get on. Exactly. He may have thought that he was going up to the NFL floor, but he actually arrived at the 33rd floor. And then clearly he was just like interested in shooting as many people as possible regardless.
He also talked about being visible, that he noticed that the incidents went down for crime when they had people outside, when it was visible that security was outside. But in most of these New York City office buildings, you have to walk in the lobby, then you have to check in. If you work there, you use your badge to swipe through. Then that takes you through the turnstile. And then you know, to walk in any door, you need to have your badge.
It's difficult. So Mayor Adams is, in a new report, in a new interview, is saying that there was a note by the shooter that talks about CTE. I think a lot of people are making the connection with CTE and the NFL being office in this building as well. So I'm sure the FBI's BAU unit, behavior analysis unit, is trying to make some sort of connection there. Also, apparently, to Mayor Adams' point, he's a cop as well. He said that he went to the wrong elevator bank as well. So he didn't know exactly where he was going. So they're probably processing all that this morning.
Yeah, they have to do door control type narratives because they can't say gun control. It's a big no-no. It's not allowed. So they got to like point the finger of blame at anything they can. And it gets like increasingly dumber and dumber until you arrive at the idea that it's all a conspiracy or a false flag to like implement gun control or something.